Ceevan is your My Gym friend. Yep, that's me.
Folks, as you know, if you watch the show at all, I truly enjoy chatting with people with family-owned businesses. Now, I rarely get to talk to someone who's still involved in a family-owned business that has evolved to the point to have as many locations as the guest today has. This is going to be very impressive. Sit back and notice. You may learn a thing or two. I certainly know that I will, and I'm excited to do so. The name of the company we're chatting with today is My Gym Children's Fitness Center, and our guest, Ceevan Sherman, right here on the show. Hey, Ceevan, how are you, buddy? Good to see you.
Hi, thank you so much, Brian, for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Well, thank you for being here. I got to tell you, you must be standing right smack dab in the middle. It looks like the place even a guy like me would like to go get fit, and it's been a long time since I was a child. So, as I mentioned, your family started this thing back, like 1983? Is that about right?
That is correct. Yeah, my parents started the company in 1983. They started off with the first 6, 7 locations, and then they franchised the company to what it is right now, just shy under 650 locations worldwide.
Goodness gracious. Now, where are you standing today? Is that one of the original locations?
Yeah, this is the 4th original location here in Thousand Oaks, California. Yep.
That's very impressive. And so you literally grew up in the business. I mean, I don't like to talk about people's ages, but I'd be a little surprised if you were around in 1983. So
I'm a 90. I've been around 90. Thankfully, this business has been here for 34 years as one of the original locations. And I definitely took my parents' classes as I was growing up.
Well, that's outstanding, because who would know more about the business than someone who grew up as a kid and now is an adult as a businessman, exactly like yourself. You're the perfect guy to be talking to us today, and I appreciate you being here. So a couple of things. I'm not sure which direction to go, but let's go with this one. I love some of the bullet points you sent in today on the notes today, specifically regarding the pandemic, where you talked about how kids' needs need to be taken care of regardless of what's going on in the world. And for the last year, the world has gone places none of us ever saw coming. Kids especially have been impacted. How has that impacted your business to where you can still try to take care of them in the best way you can in these COVID times?
Our best way is just to acclimate to these new times by still trying to provide our in-gym brick and mortar facility, which it never compares to what we do online, but children's needs remain timeless regardless of COVID or not. So we do our best trying to follow protocol, cleanliness, be in alliance with our county, and making sure that we can still provide a platform for children to learn, play, and grow successfully.
Well, and with learn, play, and grow, let's make sure that people understand we're not just playing, and we're not just learning, and we're not just growing. We're able to do everything. But along the way, what you're really doing is helping kids get together those all important foundational building blocks that everybody needs starting at the early ages. Talk to me about that, why the foundation building blocks you help kids put together is actually the foundation of the entire company.
Absolutely. So to accomplish these milestones cognitively, emotionally, socially, physically, what platform is out there where people can comfortably provide their children at young ages before they're thrown into sports? And that's exactly what we do here, age appropriately at My Gym, all locations, age-specific classes that is hitting these target milestones as they grow up, from starting the program at 3 months old, going all the way up to 10 years old.
3 months old. It's just amazing, but you're exactly right. I mean, everybody needs to get some groundwork, and what a lot of people are finally starting to realize that they didn't realize initially is if it's sports or whatever you're doing there at the gym, it's not just learning that particular maneuver or whatever the word is you'd like to use. It's so much deeper than that. You're putting the foundation building blocks together to where that is going to transform them from a self-confidence standpoint to where they couldn't do this initially. They get to the point to where they can do it, and later in life, those building blocks are there. And when they're in a math class, they're going to realize, oh, this is nothing, man. That time I climbed the rope and I didn't think I could do it. Step aside, watch me figure out this math problem. Fair enough?
Exactly. Brian, that is what we do best. We build up those roots. So that trunk of the tree at My Gym, we build up those roots before you're thrown into sports. As they get older, they need to build up those confidence skills, the self-esteem, the gross motor, the fine motor skills. And these are the roots to build up the children to get them able to accomplish those bigger and better things that we allow them to grow into after they do My Gym. But we're so thankful to have this platform. That is our mission statement, to create a platform, a foundation for children to learn these early developmental milestones, as opposed to trying all these different things. It's a one-stop shop for them to build the whole child emotionally, physically, cognitively, to go into the next level in their life as they grow older.
It's just super, and not even to mention, again, I only have 10 minutes, but the whole personality enhancement they get by being around others from day one and learning how to play properly, learning how to support each other, learning how to be a leader, learning to help people up when they need it, learning to hold your hand up so somebody else can help you. All of this stuff is just encompassed with everything that you do. And I got to say this, when I got the notes today, in my mind, when I see the word gym, first I think of, well, if you got a gym, you got to have a coach, and it turns out you're a coach. Talk to me about your YouTube channel. How do we find it, and what's it all about?
Thank you so much for bringing that up. So to accomplish the same needs as what we do in our facilities, I'm trying to connect to all children to have access to Coach Ceevan and accomplish those same milestones of which we talked about at home. So my YouTube channel is just Coach Ceevan, Ceevan. Coach Ceevan is your My Gym friend, and it's mini class episodes. So for the children or for the parents that we are too far for them to come to our classes, I would love to fill that children's space and niche where I can connect to those children and accomplish those same milestones as which we spoke before, as a beginning foundation and building community, as being a new influencer in the children's space and for the My Gym company. As well as a final product, I'd love to eventually, it's not ready yet, but mygymonDemand.com is the big picture for me, where I'm going to create seasons of episodes where aside from the brick and mortar, you can also interact with me, Coach Ceevan, and My Gym as a whole down the line. But for now, please join me on my YouTube channel. Would love to get more children's feedback and connect with more children and create that positivity and influence across the nation.
I think that is outstanding, and let's suffice it to say, in 1983, when My Gym started, the YouTube channels weren't around. And it's neat to see a company like yours that is so progressive, that embraces technology. As things change, you look at how you can incorporate it to keep getting your mission statement out there about building those building blocks, and taking, in this case, taking My Gym to people that can't actually come to the gym, whether it's for geographic reasons or COVID reasons or whatever. I just think that is just outstanding, and it speaks volumes about you as a person, but more importantly about the entire company and how you're always going to be there to take care of those kids however you can do that. You know, if you don't mind, I'd like to back up a little bit on the COVID thing. Give me your own personal perspective. I mean, how bad was it for you, and how were you able to get through it?
Well, it hit us pretty at full force. You know, prior to COVID, I had a 400-kid gym. I enrolled up to 20 kids per class. Things were really, really going well over here. And I took over the business actually just a year prior to COVID. So just getting my bearings as a owner, inheriting the family legacy with children. And it just hit us square to zero. Never experienced that before. My parents had never experienced before, and it was just something I had to learn and handle hands-on with no advice or any influence for guidance, you know. So I had to learn that by myself, and a lot of questions being answered, but I honed in on my purpose. And when that is being threatened from something that's out of your control, you just do what you can do best to acclimate to those times. So I started with the Zoom. I started with a small kid capacity, and so thankful for the community of Thousand Oaks and the Conejo Valley, because they kept us in business, and it's a community of small businesses. And I wouldn't be here today providing for the children, because it's all about the children, if it wasn't for the families of Thousand Oaks in the Conejo Valley.
Ceevan, I tell you what, I'm out of time, but I'm going to add one more thing. I have to think that you growing up, getting those building blocks in place yourself, seeds were planted a long time ago. You didn't even know were there until you needed them, and you've used them, you've persevered, you're doing very well. Thanks for sharing your story. We wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Ceevan. Coach Ceevan is your high jump friend. Yep, that's me.